skills you've developed while in the service of our country and the values that led you to a career in the military can serve you well as a financial advisor at Edward Jones. Many of our highly successful financial advisors are military veterans. Here's what they have to say about the Edward Jones opportunity.
This is Hiring America. We're talking about financial firms today. A number of them are going on the offensive to try and enlist military talent. Now, one of those companies, Edward Jones, has a new program called Forces. It's a 26-week course which helps train veterans to be financial advisors. And we're joined now by two employees of Edward Jones, Mark Eberlin, the principal responsible for recruiting military talent, and Geoff Meno, a financial advisor who served in the Marine Corps. Thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having us.
Now, Geoff, you were in the Marines. Did you ever think in a million years you were going to be a financial advisor? How did all of this come about?
Never thought about it, Gigi, but I had a financial advisor of my own, and he was great at teaching me how the financial world works and what I can do to set myself up for success in the long run. And I would take some of the lessons he taught me and pass those lessons on to some of my Marines, and I really enjoyed that teaching aspect. And eventually, when it came time to leave the Marine Corps, he said, "Hey, Geoff, you've been sitting on that side of the table. Why don't you come sit on this side of the table and see how it feels?"
Tell us about the Forces program and how it goes about enlisting veterans.
Happy to. So our Forces program is a very concerted effort to go attract and recruit military veterans that are transitioning or preparing to transition into a civilian career. We look for very specific strengths and competencies, things like leadership, things like decision-making, hard work and discipline, the ability to build relationships, to be able to serve our clients, sit down with our clients, identify our client needs, and be able to provide solutions.
And how is that going so far? Are the veterans making good financial advisors?
So far, so good. We launched our Forces program in May of 2012. We hired a total of 379 veterans in 2012, and we're already hired over 300 so far in 2013.
And what if someone in the military is watching and says, "Look, I don't know anything about financial services. There's no way they're going to hire me"?
I felt the same way. I was a grunt, running around with a rifle. And here I am, managing clients' assets and helping them reach some of their long-term goals. So it's a different world from where I was 4 or 5 years ago, but I absolutely love it, and Edward Jones gave me an incredible opportunity.
Tell us a little bit about your military experience and how that translates into a job in the civilian sector.
Sure. As with any veteran, a lot of what we're taught is leadership, responsibility, confidence, taking charge. And that's what is important here at Edward Jones or in a financial firm, is developing relationships with your clients and helping lead them through some often difficult times and getting them to the goals that they hope to achieve in the long run.
You served 3 tours in Iraq. What was that experience like?
It was an amazing experience in good ways and bad ways, but an unforgettable one nonetheless. I was an infantry officer and then later on a reconnaissance officer. So my Marines and I were out in the streets and experienced some things that I'll never forget. But the bonds that I developed with those Marines and the other service members were bonds that will last the rest of my life. And it's a tremendous honor to be on here today to try and help veterans that are now transitioning out.
And you have a family. Were there any difficulties in terms of adjusting from military life to civilian life for you?
No, my family was actually a phenomenal bedrock of support for me in helping me adjust to being home in the civilian world, having a 9-to-5 job again.
So Edward Jones is always on those lists of best places to work. What about the culture makes it attractive, particularly to veterans?
I think our culture is one of those things that really help define Edward Jones and what it's like to have a career at Edward Jones. We're a firm and a company that really tries to attract top talent and individuals that want to make a difference, whether it's a difference in their community, a difference in the lives of our clients, or a difference in the firm. And we think that's one of the things that make us very special and able to consider being a growing organization.
If a veteran does land a job at Edward Jones, what's the next step?
So the next step is once a candidate is hired into the role of the financial advisor, their compensation plan starts immediately with their first step starting to study for the licensing exams in their home. That is also integrated with some training that's conducted in our St. Louis headquarters and our Tempe, Arizona headquarters.
I've never heard of this. You pay them while they're studying for their Series 7. You pay them while they're training.
That is correct. So compensation starts once they start the study program to become licensed to actually conduct business as a financial advisor at Edward Jones.
From the day you get hired and you begin studying, you're compensated for that, which is a nice stepping stone so that you're not just dropping off one paycheck and having to wait and hope for the next one.
Thank you so much for being with us, both of you from Edward Jones, talking about this fantastic program to hire veterans.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.